6, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver. I'm here with, well, not my sister co-host and partner in crime, actually. I'm here with my daughter Mars, who's my honorary
Hello.
partner in crime today. Welcome.
Hi, Mom.
Thanks for joining me.
You're welcome. I was just jamming out to that music. I was a little bit sad when it ended.
I know. Our new theme song has had mixed reviews. We've had it, 6 months now? And
Oh,
some people really liked it. Some people really didn't like it. Some people had to get used to it. I don't know. It was more controversial than I thought it would be.
oh. Okay, I need to make just a public service announcement. I have a bad tan line right here. I promise it's just a bad tan line. It looks pretty bad right now,
But
but thought I'd make that
you're totally good.
announcement.
So Christy had an event today, and so I was going to do the show by myself. And Mars has done the show with me before, but it's been a while. So I think a lot of you guys probably have never met her before. You hear me talk about my kids all the time, so I thought you might think it was fun to get to, really see one of them.
Yep.
She's a true crimer too, though probably not nearly as hardcore as some of us. But we were both watching Karen Read closely. You've called me every day this week. Is the jury back? Is the jury back?
Yeah.
They
Because
finally
I
came
was
back.
because I was looking on TikTok and people kept saying it was back, but they were just stupid.
Yeah, just spoof videos.
Yeah.
I saw a
I'm a
girl
little
do
bit gullible.
I saw a girl do a spoof video, but she was telling her mother that the jury was back and that they found Karen Read guilty. This was like before the jury ever came back. And this lady was like sobbing. It was serious. But I also saw a video of her telling her mother that the Pope died, and she was sobbing then too. So maybe that's just kind of her deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think I saw that too.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
I don't know. Anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I want to welcome all of the chatters. So I was going to cover today this situation in Ireland that was just discovered at an old
Oh yeah.
convent have you read about this? It was a home for unwed girls
Yeah.
at some point at
Yeah.
least. Unwed mothers, I guess. Not girls. Well, and girls. But
Yeah.
where they found like 800 babies. Yeah, in the septic. I was going to do a deep dive on that, but honestly, it's been a hard true crime week around here, I think. We've had a lot of really heavy stuff. Of course, we've had all the
Yeah.
Karen Read stuff. We've just had a lot. So I thought maybe actually it would be a funner way to end the week to just do a funny true crime show. So here we are.
Something silly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it kind
I'll
of,
try.
I was, sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry, Mom. I was just gonna say I'll try not to be like too unhinged on here.
You can do whatever you want. That's the nice thing about, the internet. Or
Yeah.
maybe it's
Well, maybe it's not.
not for all
Like,
people.
yeah. Not sure about that one.
Yeah. Not everyone should do whatever they want on the internet. That's true. I was thinking about it because there was this crazy incident that happened in Idaho Falls last week that I was going to cover earlier this week and I forgot. And I remembered today and went, what the hell am I doing with my life? So we're going to start with this situation in Idaho Falls. I think what I want to do is play the song first and then I'll tell you the story because the song will give it to you mostly, but I think this will be funner. So let's start out. Of course, per normal, this is a song that I wrote with the help of AI. AI performed it as well. And here we go.
Wendy rolled up in a G see. Fake ID and a felony spree. Said I'll take 10 grand and make it snappy. The banker hit the button, things got crappy. Cops showed up, said, ma'am, step away. But Wendy floated just to get away. Dragged that poor cop 50 feet or more, then left him rolling like a stunner on the floor. Now she's speeding down those Idaho roads with a fistful of charges and a trunk full of woes. Tore through stop signs, fences, and fear, then ditched the ride and just disappeared. But what do you do when your crime don't prevail? Well, darling, you take the Uber straight to jail. Officers swarmed with drones in the sky. The neighbors pointed like she just ran by. She slipped through the pines thinking she was slick, but her 5-star getaway wasn't built to stick. She ordered a ride like it's just another day, but that Uber man wasn't born yesterday. He said, I think I've got your gal, and dropped her off like a super good pal. Yeah, she's speeding down those Idaho roads with 6 felonies in her criminal code. Swiped 10 grand, but it didn't end well, cause karma rides fast and drive for lift as well. No high-speed chase, no dramatic unveil. Just Wendy in the backseat, going straight to jail. Now she's facing charges stacking 10 feet tall. Burglary, theft, and breaking the law. Aggravated battery and leaving the scene. The Idaho Falls police are keeping it clean. So raise a toast to that brave Uber knight who cruised the suspect into custody's light. When your crime story reads like a bad fairy tale, don't run, don't hide, just Uber straight to jail.
Oh man.
And that's pretty much what happened.
Yep, that sums it up.
So
You
this
told me about
woman,
this one.
yes, this woman named Wendy Bess was in Idaho Falls. She was trying to rob banks, essentially. And she actually did. She went to like 2 or 3 different banks. She got $10,000 from one bank, went to the next bank, and she was using a fake ID. And the teller was like, no, something's not cool here. So she called the police, pushed the panic button, I believe. And so the police show up just as Wendy is getting in her SUV and tell her that she needs to stop. She hops in and takes off. An officer gets a hold of the handle of her car and actually ends up dragging her. She drags him like 50 feet. Luckily, he's, I believe, unhurt. But then just takes off. So they have a little chase with her, and she ends up wrecking her car into a fence and running. And so then she calls an Uber. And the Uber picks her up kind of like along a tree line, like not where you'd expect to pick somebody up, like at a residence or at a business or something. None of those places. So Wendy hops in his car and he realizes that there's like a pretty good police search going on with drones and officers, and there's police everywhere. And he's like, wait a minute. That you? So he pulls up to the police and he's like, hey, are you looking for this lady? And they were like, we sure are. Isn't that wild?
That is. Imagine he did that and it's not the person they're looking for. Like, could you?
What if it was you, you
Right?
know?
Yeah, you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm just trying to make it to the airport. Like, what?
I just
Well,
wanted
do you
to go
know
to
what?
Target.
Do you know where she was Ubering to?
No.
I wonder where she was trying to Uber to.
Interesting thought. She's from California. She's not from here. So
Huh?
maybe she was trying to get to her hotel, or
An
I don't know.
airport?
Maybe she was in her
That's
own
insane.
vehicle. Yeah.
Oh, I guess
Yeah.
that's true. What are they?
Well, she's going nowhere now because Wendy sucks to suck. But
Yeah. Oh, holy cow.
that story
Uh,
kills me.
Uber really should give that man like a bonus or something because he's a Crime Stopper.
Well, I want to know what the conversation was like in the car. Did he ask her? Like, what's going on here? Or wonder what the police are doing up here? Or like,
Yeah.
and
Did
he's
she just straight like admit it to him?
no idea. He said that she had suspicious behavior, is all the article that I read said. I think that's what the arrest warrant said, actually. So I don't know, but right. What was that conversation like? And did she realize that he was pulling up to the cops? What was she
Yeah.
saying?
Um, wow. I wonder if he didn't stop at the cops, if like somehow they would have charged him for like something
Right. You'd
like
think.
accomplice. I don't know.
Hopefully not. That I think that's one scary part of door dashing. There was actually a
No,
case or
Ubering.
Ubering. There was a DoorDash case. That's what's in my head. A while back. I don't think it was in the US. Oh, maybe it was. I think it was. It was a pizza place. And if you called and you ordered the right thing, you knew the code word to say, they would send you a bunch of drugs when
Oh,
it was being delivered via like DoorDash or something like that. Yeah.
oh my gosh.
That's kind
So
of a
like
scary thought.
you accidentally order like a large pepperoni pizza, extra pepperoni, and fentanyl
Mhm.
comes up or what? That's crazy.
With the bonus? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. You like
That is
tip like $4.20 and they know what to give you.
this lady tipped 420. You know what to do.
Yeah, yeah, that's hilarious.
That's pretty wild. So we'll see how that one plays out in Idaho Falls. I don't know. That's crazy. But I noticed today that Sheriff Grady has struck again. So Sheriff Grady is the sheriff out of Polk County, Florida, where the craziest shit on the planet seems to happen all the time. And he
Florida.
does
Oh.
the funniest press conferences you have ever seen,
Mm-hmm.
talking calling these out. And in fact, recently I was looking for a case that was from like 2013, a long time ago. And guess what I found? A press conference from Sheriff Grady. He's
Oh.
been doing this forever, which cracked me up. Oh, Valerie, that's funny. She said she probably gave the driver a bad review as soon as she could. Do not recommend.
Uh,
Got me busted.
yeah, he
So
probably had
let's,
to block her.
yeah. So this was Sheriff Grady just a couple of days ago. So I thought it was worth watching. His press conferences sometimes are just classically funny.
Good morning, everyone. It's time for morning briefing. I hope you have your favorite cup of coffee. I have mine, and Taylor's Roofing from Lake Wells sent us this cup. If you need a roof, check them out. See if they can give you the brother-in-law deal to save you some money. Enjoy your coffee, because I got to tell you something you're just not going to believe. So there was this victim.
It's Polk
Somebody
County. We'll
ripped off their
believe.
bicycle from out from under their porch. They didn't call law enforcement, but they looked around on Facebook Marketplace themselves, you know, kind of like private detectives. And guess what? They found their bike. So they're still trying to be nice to the dude, okay? So they text this guy, Rusty Waddle, he's 30, and said, "Hey man, that appears to be my bicycle. Can I come over and take a look? And if it is, pick it up." He tells them he still wants payment. So the question is, did he steal it, or is he holding it hostage for ransom? Maybe kidnapping of a bike or something like that. Okay, just thinking out loud. The dude won't give their bike back. So that makes the victim mad. So then they notify the sheriff's office. Our great deputies go out there and talk to the victim. He obviously has screenshot all of this post, because old Rusty Waddle now decided to take it off Facebook Marketplace. We go to his house, and guess what we find? The victim's bicycle. That's right. Does this guy look smart? He's not. He ended up charged with burglary, petty theft, dealing in stolen property, when all the goober had to do was give the man his bike back. He would have never notified law enforcement. He wouldn't have picked up some criminal charges. But he's used to it. He's been in jail for burglary before. Rusty, you made a bad choice, and now you're paying for it. Have a good day.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta love him. He is so funny. But yes, Rusty
Oh,
Waddle. Christy
that
said
is
that's how she walks
hilarious.
now.
Oh my gosh.
Does this guy look smart to
Oh.
you?
Yeah, I saw one of something similar to that last week. This guy had his trailer stolen from in his like front of his house, like kind of like a four-wheeler trailer. And
Okay.
he met with this guy, and he must be like friends with law enforcement or something, because he found the same guy selling it on Facebook. So he met up with him in a parking lot and was like, "Oh, like how long have you had this trailer?" And he's like, "Oh, not too long." And he's like, "This looks a lot like my trailer that I had this morning that got stolen out in front of my house. Like, did you take my trailer?"
Oh
And
my
he's like, "No,
gosh.
no, no, this is mine." And the police show up and like arrest the guy in front of me. And I'm like, he, come on,
Oh
at least if you're gonna
gosh.
steal something, at least sell it in a different town. Come on.
Right? Not smart criminals.
Everybody has Facebook Marketplace.
Right. Oh, that's wild. There was another case of a stolen bike that somebody saw on Marketplace years ago, and they met up pretending like they wanted to buy the bike, and they just jumped on it and said they wanted to take a test ride and just drove away.
Took it home. Oh my gosh.
Took it home. That's one of my favorite stories. I guess I'm just never that brave. Like, I would be so afraid. Even the Uber driver, I'd be afraid that, well, Wendy had a gun. Like these things,
Yeah,
this could go south really
exactly.
fast. I'm
Yes.
kind of surprised Sheriff Grady didn't say, next time give us a call because,
Yeah.
like, you don't want to see people getting hurt. But,
No.
yeah, seems unwise to steal things and put them right up on Marketplace in the same town. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Criminals can keep being dumb. That's
Yeah.
good for the rest of
Makes
us.
makes it easier to find them. Dumb
It's
bitches.
true.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got some dumb bitches for you today.
Oh,
Um,
perfect.
so I have a guy. Oh my God, Mars, this will absolutely kill you. I got a guy. This was actually back in 2017. 19-year-old guy held up a hot dog stand in Chicago, a South Side hot dog stand.
Oh my gosh.
And which, first of all, why a hot dog stand? I mean, how much money could possibly be in a hot dog stand?
Yeah,
But he had a gun,
that's
thought he was
weird.
a real
Okay.
badass. Yeah. Got some money
Hmm.
from him, turned to leave. He actually got their wallets. He stole these two men's wallets and some other cash and had it in his pockets, turned to leave, crammed that gun down the front of his pants, and ba-boom. He shot his own wiener off. So,
He okay, the irony that he tried to rob a hot dog stand and shut off his own hot dog. Are you kidding?
it really doesn't get
Jesus.
better than this, right?
No. Holy cow.
So he kind of drags himself onto the steps of someone's house where somebody calls the ambulance and they come and get him.
Holy
But
cow.
yeah. And when the police caught up with him, they discovered the stolen wallets in his pockets and, took him to the hospital for treatment, of course, and then to jail. But I kind of feel like he learned a lesson here. I hope so. I'm glad it was his own that he shot off, but
Yeah. Wonder if they could reconstruct it, or he's just out a whole wiener.
I don't know. Is that
Imagine,
like can you have like a cadaver?
oh my God.
I don't know.
That sounds like a like sure way to transmit a disease.
What a dick, though, right? What a dick.
What a
Uh,
dick.
Cherish.
Imagine, oh sorry,
Cherish
Mom,
says
what
it
was
might have been all right if his undies were made from bamboo. That's a reference from the Lori Vallow trial, uh, in the when they convicted her for killing Charles. One of
hmm
the arguments that she kept making was that he was wearing a $200 workout shirt that was made from bamboo and was trying to make some kind of weird claim that They never tested the shirt, but that some claim that the bamboo would make it bulletproof or something. It was wild.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
She, Victoria said that you can get a cadaver transplant, but I know a case where they use a person's thumb as a replacement. Interesting. I'm just thinking, imagine you get like a penis transplant and like I know they would test the penis, but like all of a sudden you just have chlamydia. Like that's just that's crazy.
Your problems just keep getting worse.
Karma got you a few times on that
For real, right? Cherish would hate to
one.
be his girlfriend, right? For a lot of reasons, because this dude's not smart.
No,
Not
yeah,
smart.
no. This dude does not have a girlfriend, and if he does,
She's not smart.
as women, we need to do better if this man has a girlfriend
Yeah.
or had. You said in 2017 this happened.
Yeah. Let's talk about some guys in Ohio
All
that
right.
some diamond thieves. One thing we have
Ooh.
learned is that people that rob banks and rob jewelry stores really pull some wild stuff and frequently aren't very smart. And in this
Mm-hmm.
case, honestly, they might have gotten away with this one, except for that. So they were trying to steal jewelry from Diamonds Rock in Kenwood, Ohio. So the surveillance showed a man smash through the front door with a crowbar, and then they used a
Mm-hmm.
screwdriver to unlock a secondary door. And then they used the crowbar to break into showcases and just they're dragging out as much jewelry as they possibly can, stuffing it
Mm-hmm.
in their pockets. And, the alarm's going off. These are like those smash and grab hits that they have to do super fast because the alarm goes off and the police are coming.
Yeah.
So they take off. They get to what looks like the stairs, and it looks like maybe that's not going to be the fastest way. So they hop in the elevator. Bad
Oh my
news,
God.
the elevator is broken.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So it's an elevator to take them to their getaway vehicle, but
Mm-hmm.
anyway, it got stuck, and
Well, when
so
there's an
there's
emergency like that, it probably stops.
maybe so, sure,
Like when there's a fire and the like fire alarms go off, it like automatically like stops the elevator usually,
suppresses the
right?
elevator.
So you
Yeah, it
have to.
could.
So what they probably it's probably like built into their security system
Mm-hmm. Probably so.
anyway.
So good point. So they're trying to stuff all the jewelry up into the ceiling tiles of the like trying to push up to the tiles of the or the top of the elevator to try to hide the all the jewels and stuff, but that didn't work. And anyway, it was super easy for the cops when they were able to get
Mm.
that door open that they're suspects and all of the loot was right there. So,
Holy cow! Now they're scared of elevators.
right? Forever and
Yeah,
ever. But
always.
lucky for them, there's likely not an elevator in prison. So,
Yeah, well, you'd hope not.
yeah.
I give them some PTSD.
We actually covered a case a while back about a guy
Mm.
who went into a really high-end jewelry store in Florida and he was
A high
pretending to be
what?
in high-end
Oh, okay.
jewelry store, and he was pretending to be an some kind of like a buying agent for a famous basketball player or football player,
Oh,
and stole a pair of earrings that were worth nearly $800,000.
oh my God.
And when he got pulled over, he swallowed them.
Oh,
Yeah.
how big did you see? Like, how big were they?
They weren't very big. They were like just little gold with pretty good sized diamonds, but I mean they weren't
Though
huge,
those could like puncture, like, ah! Sorry, my phone fell. Got too excited about this one. Those could like puncture your stomach.
right?
Those
Also,
probably did hurt going in and really hurt coming out.
they did eventually come out, and they
Oh,
retrieved them. We joked here on this show that they had to put them on half price. They were like, just put Put those earrings on sale. They're crappy.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, like
joking. I don't know if they put them on anything, but
yeah, how much do those depreciate in value after they've been
a trip
ingested
through the
and
system.
digested?
Oh, Twinkie, they exited exactly where you would think they would. It took a couple of weeks. And apparently, from friends of the show who work in prisons have told us that, oh, yeah, and in jails, that sometimes, yeah, there's a procedure, there's a protocol for that. Holy shit.
Like
I,
you
that's
have
so
to
gross.
somebody had to collect and dig through this man's stool for 2 weeks.
Mm hmm. Mm hmm.
That's a shitty job.
That's a super shitty job. I don't want that job ever. No.
No,
Yeah.
well, I mean, you might find some $800,000 earrings in that loot, though.
You know what's crazy about it? He swallowed them after he got pulled over. Like the police saw him do it.
Oh,
Bitch, you could have thrown them out the window and had a better chance of. Like, why would you
or like,
swallow them? He panicked.
I mean, you could have like shoved them. I don't. Hmm, not sure.
Yeah. Right. That jail employee needs hazard pay. I really, frankly, think the jewelry store should have given them a gift card for something other than those earrings. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
terrible.
and then those, do they go into evidence after that? And
They
how long?
probably do until they're done prosecuting him. Yeah. And then they probably can petition to have them returned.
And
What's the
what
defense's
are
argument on that?
also, I just don't understand how one pair of earrings that are small enough for him to swallow could be worth $800,000.
Right. It's how the others live. We don't know.
And who's buying those earrings? I'm sorry. You go to
I know.
Walmart and get a lookalike for like $10.
I know. And you don't even have to swallow them or anything.
Wow.
Yeah. Cherish said she'd go ahead and do the job if she could resell them, even at half price, right? And like,
Yeah.
no one has to know. It's not like a haunted house, you know. No one has to know.
Um, I think they probably do have to know,
Well, of
right?
course, I don't know. I mean, the Murderabilia Club, maybe somebody would like that.
Yeah. Mm,
So I have a hilarious story for you out of Canada.
okay.
A One of those porch pirate kind of people runs up on this guy's
Oh.
porch to grab something, runs back to hop in his car, and the whole time this guy's like yelling at him through his Ring doorbell, which is hilarious, and you'll hear it through the video. He commentates the entire thing. He's like kind of trying to give him advice and help him. They're way too nice. Finally, his wife was like, maybe let's not help him. Anyway, he goes flying out of their driveway and gets stuck in the snowbank.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you have to see it.
Okay, I need to see this.
Yeah, that's done. You're done.
Straight into the snowbank.
You're done. Cops is coming. Cops is coming.
Yeah, he does.
Please, call the police now.
Yeah, the police finally get there and unstick him on the way to jail. But the way he keeps trying to help him, it's a front wheel drive. He's like, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Right,
That was
Amber, why not push from the back? I don't understand.
that was so Canadian of the guy though, like telling him, trying to help him. Like you might as well just invite him in for some hot chocolate while he waits for the police to go.
Right? Well, and his wife in her sweet little voice, no mercy.
Holy Hannah.
Maybe
I,
don't do the porch pirate
and
thing. That's
yeah,
what I
what
thought.
what is in that package?
Right?
It's probably like a pair of socks or like probably something stupid.
Right? I wonder how often people steal stuff that they get home and they're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, if anybody stole anything from your front porch, Mom, they'd get home and be like, "This is fucking useless. Like,
Right.
what am I
So
gonna
many
do
craft supplies.
with these molds? Like,
Right.
what am I gonna do with all this fucking glitter? Like,
All this glass. Yeah, printer ink.
yeah. Sometimes I'm like, dang, now I live in a big city. Are my Amazon packages supposed to, like, are they gonna be okay? But never had. I do
Yeah.
see on the Ring doorbell app all the time people are posting like, I had my package stolen. Does anybody recognize this person? I'm like, that's genius because it's usually like stupid kids, honestly.
Mhm. Yeah. I like the guy who makes the boxes that explode. That explode with glitter, not like explode.
Yeah.
But, somebody opens it up and it literally blows up glitter in their face. Oh,
Um,
Amber said somebody stole her cat litter once. That's good. Good. They deserve
oh
it.
my.
Yeah.
Victoria said gummy vitamins and a phone charger probably, which is like so on spot.
Oh,
That's so funny.
right. Victoria also had somebody steal a box from her porch and returned it because it was just cake pans and icing tips. They want
Honestly,
your
Victoria, I
electronics.
would
If
love
that's not
that
what it
box.
is, yeah, not that
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah. You honestly just figure out like how Verizon and like all of them ship their stuff, and you know,
True.
Amazon isn't the greatest one.
It could be
Probably
anything.
find a bigger way,
Yeah.
or just don't steal.
Okay. All right. That's a thought too. Yeah. Yeah.
But oh, I
Joelle. She said she had some kids ding dong ditching her house. They thought they were being smart by covering up the doorbell. I ran out and said, "Kids, I can see your face as you walk up the sidewalk."
oh, there is actually
Idiots.
I have a funny one about that. So, in our hometown, the police department posted this long thing, and they're looking for these kids because these two boys have been doorbell ditching the same house for years now. And
Yes.
these people are trying to charge these teenage boys with stalking because
Yes.
apparently these kids have been showing up faces covered every time and doorbell ditching the same house for years now, and they've never been able to catch them. And apparently they come at like 10 o'clock at night, which God forbid if somebody comes at 10 o'clock at night and the people in the comments are like, I'd shoot them and stuff. And I'm like, these are some teenage boys that think this is really funny. Like, pressing charges for stalking is actually insane for that one. But
It is, and they probably wouldn't be able to stick them. They're probably just trying to scare them, but that is some
yeah.
commitment, man. Because didn't they say this has been going on for like 3
Yeah,
years?
yeah, they were like, it's been happening for years. I'm like, guys, if you haven't caught them by now, it's on you. Like, it's on you. Come on.
Right.
They even have a Ring doorbell. Like, they
Hmm.
have so much footage of these kids. It's obvious they obviously know these kids.
They must.
I don't know.
But I mean, teenagers can be vindictive.
Yeah,
What kind of beef do they actually have with these kids? What did they do to deserve this? Not to shame the victim, but why
yeah.
is this happening?
Well, one time I really wanted to be the victim in high school. I guess that was too nice. I really wanted to be the victim of like an egging or like a toilet papering. And one time I did find toilet paper in our big pine tree, and I was like, did
True.
this blow here or did somebody do a really bad job? Because wouldn't it be like, I think it would be kind of cool to be toilet papered. I'm not gonna lie. But
No,
also, I was in high school during the pandemic. Toilet paper
right.
was a hot commodity.
Right.
So.
If you had toilet papering, your mother was going to kill you. Yeah,
Yeah, and like eggs now are so expensive. Like, what are
right.
kids doing these days? I never did that, but I did one time throw cheese at my friend's car.
Jeez, you
Yeah,
rebel.
I threw a piece of Kraft cheese, like the sticky ones,
Hmm.
on my friend Abby's car.
That'll be prison time. Yeah.
Yeah, but
We
guess I was
toilet
too good
papered
of a
when I
kid.
was a kid. I think it was more of a thing, but
Mm,
because
you toilet papered, Mom?
I've been toilet papering and egging more than once. Yes, I have.
Mom, Hopefully the statute of limitations is up on that one or you're getting charged.
Hopefully. I'll never tell who.
It's her! Police, it was her!
Okay. Well, all right. This story really cracks me up. This was back in 2011, long time ago. It's funny how these stories emerge when I need them. But this is a kid named Jason Moorer. He was 20, and he broke into some people's house, actually in 2009, sorry, uh, on Christmas Day. And he stole some computers, some other electronic equipment, got all of his loot together, and he was thirsty by God. So he took a carton of orange juice out of the fridge and opened it up, and like an uncivilized jackass just drank straight out of the carton and then just threw it in the sink and left. So the
His
police
DNA was
come.
all over it.
Yeah. So the police come and they check out the scene and they find the orange juice there, and the homeowners are like, yeah, no, he did that. We didn't do that. Whoever was in this house did that. So they take the orange juice bottle, they get DNA off of it. This dumbass is in the system already, and they arrest him, and that's how he got busted.
Oh my gosh. At least take it to go. What is he
Right?
doing?
Just had to be a pig, you know? No offense to pigs. And
Yeah, no,
get
no.
himself busted. I love it. I want to hear
Oh.
how he explains that to the other guys in jail.
Yeah.
How'd you get caught? Orange juice.
Um, he did make a great choice though. Orange juice is really good. But he
He should have taken it to go.
should have taken that as a road soda.
But
Not
also, he
whatever.
was 20 years old, and his DNA was already in the system.
He still smelled like pee and he needed a little bit of orange juice.
Yep.
Well,
That tells you in those 2 years of life, or 2 years of adulthood life, he'd already committed some crimes because he was already in the system at that point.
yeah.
So,
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Definitely don't do that.
Yeah. Stupid idiot.
Yeah, not wise.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to tell you about a guy who was really trying to make a good decision.
I'm sure.
He was planning on robbing a bank.
Mm.
2 men, actually. We're planning on robbing a bank, so that's the bad decision. But they knew that they needed to be real quick, in and out, right? If you're going to rob
Yeah.
a bank, you got to be fast. The police are definitely going to be coming, right? So they're like, what if the money was ready for us when we got there? Right? Would make things so much quicker.
So they wanted it to be an inside job.
Well, they wanted to order to go. No shit, this really happened.
At a
This-
bank?
Yeah, this happened in Connecticut. This guy calls the bank and tells them to get the money ready, we're coming. Well, they want $100,000. They told the person on the phone there would be a bloodbath if their orders weren't carried out, and that they'd be there shortly. So the bank is like, I don't really think so. So they call the police and they're like, oh, so we just got this phone call. And the cops are like, sit tight. We'll be right there. So they showed up to pick up their money and I don't know, got arrested. Like, what the hell would possess you to do that?
They called in a threat and then didn't expect. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, the suspect that called in, his name was Albert Bailey. The other suspect is a juvenile. So, yeah, they're charged with first-degree robbery and threatening in the first degree. And I know this won't come as a surprise, but at the time, Bailey was on probation for another bank holdup a few years before this.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
People
This was
are
clear back in
so
2010.
stupid.
Yeah.
Why would you rob a bank? Well, okay, why would you rob anything? But a bank, they've got that shit locked down. And to call and tell them you're gonna do it and then do it is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a bad decision. There was another guy in Arizona not too long ago who went in to rob the bank, and the teller said that she'd have to see his ID, and he gave it to her. And then she did give him some money, and he did get out with it, the door with it, but they knew exactly who he was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She told him in order to access their system, she would have to have an ID. So he was like, okay, fine. Just be quick. Can you
Yeah,
imagine that?
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
We've seen a lot of crazy bank robber stories over the years. It just seems like people that rob banks are typically not using their thinker.
No, not well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Now,
think, yeah.
do you guys remember that case where the golden toilet was stolen? There was this solid gold toilet, and it was on display in England, and it was stolen. And they kind of thought it was probably just, gone forever. They finally caught the people who did it, and they were actually sentenced last week. Didn't think that would
Hmm.
happen, but
Why was there, what was this gold, the purpose of a gold toilet? Just like,
it was actually, I think it was kind of an art installation about wealth and greed,
oh,
like
so,
mocking wealth and
hmm,
greed. But it was a solid gold toilet.
hmm. So we're gonna mock wealth and greed by spending at least $1 million on a toilet?
Yeah.
They
Yes.
could have just like maybe like made it like fake, like pyrite.
Right? Aaron said that happened at Blenheim Palace. Yeah. I was amazed. I didn't think they'd ever catch those guys, but they did, and they prosecuted them, and they've been sentenced. So,
Wow.
yeah. Let me double
Imagine,
check my list. I
imagine
think we
how
did
many
it.
hungry people that gold toilet could have fed.
Hmm. It's just the opposite of the things we need, isn't it?
Yeah. Hmm. Maybe,
Oh, I do have
some,
one more story. I thought I did, and
oh,
I wasn't seeing it. This is really good. This just happened in Florida. Uh, guy called the police, very upset, very upset. He was at the Oz Gentlemen's Club, and he had paid for a private room and for sex and hadn't received it. So he
are
called
you,
the cops. So
wow.
the police showed up and they were like, "So, prostitution's illegal, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, just arrest me." What the hell?
Oh my God.
So Cherish said he was hard up. He was, yeah. There was another case out of Florida years ago where a lady called the police because somebody else stole her drugs.
Oh,
She wanted the police come and make this other lady give them back.
wow.
And the cops were like, do you understand what you're doing here?" And she said, "I am I am completely out of money. That is all of the drugs I had. I have to have them back." And the officer's like, "Okay, but do you understand what's happening here?" Yeah, I don't apparently think I guess she didn't think she was going to get arrested. She did. So did the lady who stole the drugs, but
Maybe the lady who stole the drugs needed them more than the lady.
I wish I would have brought the video of that one because the lady who stole the drugs is tweaking out of her mind. There's a
Oh man.
video of this. There's like a vest cam from the
Hmm.
cops, and she is cackling and howling with laughter the whole time that this other lady's arguing with the police. I mean,
Did
she
they
knows,
both
like,
get
we're getting
arrested?
arrested. Yeah, they both got
Oh,
arrested.
okay.
And I think to her, she's like, yeah, we're both going down for sure. But the way this lady's arguing with the police about how badly she needs to hang on to those drugs because they're hers, and the way the other
Oh
lady's
my
laughing is
God.
pretty funny. It's one to go search out for sure. The video's super funny.
Sometimes I wonder how people are that stupid. And then I have people that are that stupid come into my work all the time,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Any updates on the couple who robbed a Dollar General and pooped on the way out? No, I've never heard another thing about that.
Jesus Louise.
They loaded a shopping cart like piled high with cleaning supplies
Mhm.
And while he ran out the door, she dropped her drawers like right in the store and shit on the floor, and then she ran out too. Yeah,
What?
yeah. I think was that
What?
I want to say that was in
I
Florida.
don't understand.
That might be unfair to Florida. I just always
Uh,
think.
yeah, it's probably Florida.
But in Florida, there was a case last week of a 72-year-old man in a Sam's Club who peed all over a whole pallet of Vienna sausages and spam. Again, the sausage references just make right themselves. Yeah,
What the hell?
yeah. Sam's Club said it was $10,000 worth of meat that they had to throw away.
Holy cow.
Hmm. But you have to wonder, like, is this Alzheimer's or senility? I mean, there
Yeah.
could be a
Well,
lot of reasons at that age that I might think maybe that was not
well,
a
if it
criminal
is,
act.
Florida's not gonna do shit about it.
No, probably not. What did
Florida,
spam ever do to him? Good question.
that
Yes, Joelle, I did. The couple that broke the Sherlock's crystal chair. So in a French museum, there was this really fancy, it was a small chair and it was covered in Swarovski crystals. And this dumbass sits on it and breaks it. There's
oh
video
my
of it
God.
happening. Yeah.
How much was the chair worth? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, I don't, but quite a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Like in a museum, if a chair's on display, that's not an invitation to sit on it. Good Lord.
Yeah. They had to
I'm
have
from
climbed
Podunk,
like
Idaho,
over
and I know that.
ropes and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, worth a lot, a lot, a lot. Priceless. Yeah. People are just
But
not doing the
but
thinking.
again, I would like to know why we have a chair worth that much money in a museum. How many hungry kids could that feed? I'm
A
just
lot. A lot. You're not
a
wrong.
lot of.
Yeah. The greed and waste is everywhere, for sure.
Yeah, for
Right? You're
sure.
not even supposed to touch those things, even be anywhere near those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to run up and sit on it, you know he knew.
Is there a
Yeah.
video of that?
There is. There is.
Mm,
You'll have to search that one out. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, then there was the guy in Utah who got pissed off and ran his used car right
Oh,
through the
I
dealership.
saw that.
I haven't seen any follow-ups on him, JR. I'll have to go search that one out.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
There
dumb
was
criminal.
also a case of a guy in a national park a couple of weeks ago that got busted with a drone. So I don't know if you guys know this, but you're not allowed to fly drones in national parks. That's a law that's across the nation. And he not only was he flying a drone, he was harassing ospreys and chasing them off their nests.
That's sad.
Yeah, so he got busted. You could
I
do a
just,
whole podcast just on bad behavior in national parks.
well, I have personally been a victim of a bad Uber driver, and I was thinking about this earlier today or earlier in this episode, because of the Uber.
Mm-hmm.
When we went to Nashville in March, we had split up a little bit, so we were at like this mall that's like right in front of the Grand Ole Opry. It's like the Ole Opry Mall or something. It's huge, and we called an Uber to take us back downtown where the rest of our group was, and it said it was like 12 minutes away. And I was like, okay, perfect. We'll just book this one. So we're waiting on this Uber, and he takes 30 minutes to get there and is taking like all these weird turns, like because you can see your Uber like down the roads, you know? And we're all like, this is really weird. Why is it taking him so long? And he gets there, and we ordered one for four people. So I was gonna have to sit in the front seat, which is so awkward in an Uber, but when you have four people, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
And we go to get in, and I open the door, and this man has, I think, like five tall boys of beer empty on the ground, of garbage all over the front seat, and like this Nike box full of God knows what. And he's visibly drunk. And I am like, well, before I realized he was drunk, I was like, can I sit in the front seat? And he was like, uh, yeah, just give me a second. He like snatches the Nike box, and that's when my sister goes, there's a bunch of empty beer bottles, like cans down there. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he goes, actually, can I just call you guys a different Uber? And I was like, yeah. I think that would be best. And he just drove away but didn't cancel the Uber. So I ended up having to cancel it. But since it took him fucking 45 minutes to get to us, it like was charging me like all of this money for his time. It was like
Mm-hmm.
16 bucks or something. And I had to like get on the phone with Uber and I was like, this guy just tried to pick us up drunk. Like, I really don't care about my money that much, but like get him off the road.
Right.
And
You don't let him pick anybody else up.
they're like, well, was there like, did you ever see him drink alcohol? And I was like, well, when he had five empty like big cans of
Yeah.
beer, I think he was pretty drunk. But they gave me my money back and they blocked him from me, and then they like let me know that they kicked him off the app. But I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
should like, should I call the police? But I didn't honestly remember what he was driving or anything like that. And then
That's so scary, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the girl we were with, Kiana, ordered another Uber and it took her like 10 minutes to get there. And I'm on the phone with Uber trying to like work this out. And the Uber driver we're with, Kiana had to sit in the front seat, looks at Kiana and is like, just so you know, this is a silent Uber. And the girl we were in the Uber with was on the phone, like had AirPods in, was on the phone, like talking about her daughter's baby daddy really loudly about how much she hated him and like called him like a dumb I was like something so funny, like I can't remember. But and she like turns to Kiana and is like, it's a silent Uber. And so I'd like get off the phone with Uber
Uber.
and then she was like yelling on the phone to this lady and we're all just like sitting looking at each other in the back and it was so I think the key is like the good Ubers stay downtown Nashville and if you get like a little ways out, like maybe just walk because
All bets are off.
yeah, all bets are off.
That is so crazy.
Yeah,
It's insane. And there is such a thing as silent Ubers, but that really cracks me up that she was
yeah,
on the phone. It was clearly not a silent Uber, only for the passengers.
yeah. It was, and then she would like ask us a question. She'd be like, "Oh, what are you guys doing here?" We're like, "Oh, we're on spring break." And she'd be like, "Oh yeah, these girls are on spring break, and I'll tell you what spring break is." And I'm like,
What?
it was crazy. Oh, she called the baby daddy a dumb bunny. That's what she called him.
A
And
dumb
it was,
bunny? Oh,
yeah, but it was quite an interesting
that
time.
is scary though. I'm really glad that you guys were paying attention and that you didn't just go along with that because like you didn't know what to say or, that
Yeah,
was smart to stand up for yourselves. It goes
yeah,
back to that old true crime adage of if you see something, say something.
yeah. And I probably should have called the cops, but I really didn't. I feel like Uber should have taken care of that, but not really
No,
sure.
I think
But
you did what you could. Oh, that's
yeah.
interesting, Aaron. I didn't know that. Mia Bailey. This is the girl who shot her parents last year in Utah. Is having an arraignment today. Interesting. Yeah, she's the trans woman who shot her parents last year. Yeah, that's a really, really sad story. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. I have kind of lost. Utah is like we get initial reportings on stuff that happens in Utah, but then to follow cases like through their entirety is tough to do in Utah. But, or maybe it's not, and I'm just not as dialed in as I need to be. But I've noticed that like we get preliminary you know, reports on cases, and then they really, really drop off, and it's harder to come up with it. But because I update like every week Nicholas Alaverdian or Nicholas Rossi or Nicholas Jingleheimer Schmidt or whatever you want to call him, and to see what's going on there because his trials are coming up. But
Mhm.
there's just not a lot that comes out unless you really go search it down. But anyway, well,
Utah.
oh man, Utah's a mess. Such a mess. Not that Idaho's better. Like we're a
Oh
disaster
yeah, no.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all the crazy crime stuff coming out of Utah the last while is astonishing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
did read
honestly, the
today.
crime, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just the crime in general coming out of the United States right now is actually fucking
Yeah, pretty off
people
the
are
hook.
losing their minds.
Indeed. I read today that Arturo Gamboa, this is the guy that had the AR at the protest last Saturday that, you know, the peacekeepers shot him and shot somebody else because of his gun. That the police are now taking a harder look at what happened there because, and we brought this story to you a couple of days ago, but the initial reports appear to maybe not be true. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that case. I've been really curious because it doesn't seem like Gamboa did anything wrong. But anyway, yeah, Travis Decker still on the lam in
Is
Washington.
that the man that killed his like kids?
His three little girls.
How
Yeah.
have they not found him yet?
So he was in the military and is like backcountry trained, and they really believe. I really thought they'd find him unalived somewhere,
Yeah,
and they really believe, authorities fully believe that he's alive and that he's still out there
on
on
the
the
run.
lam, and they just haven't found him.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah,
That's super scary.
Washington also has contributed quite a lot.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there was a case, we got an alert a few nights ago that there was an armed and dangerous suspect in our area, not very far from our house, that apparently this
Mhm.
guy came here from Idaho Falls with a woman, and they were in a gas station that, like, literally very near my house. And she tried to get away from him, decided she didn't want to go any further with him to wherever their destination was, not sure. And he told her if she didn't get back in the car that she would die tonight. So she got back in the car and they drove out to Beaver Dick Park. And yes, that's a real place.
Yep.
Named after a person, not but so they went out to Beaver Dick Park. She got out of the car again and had decided she wasn't going to go any further with him because he was scaring her. And he attacked her and stabbed her in the hand and hit her in the back of the head with something and knocked her out and drove away. And then the police, I'm not sure how she got connected with the police, but she did. She was taken to the hospital.
They're probably patrolling because they patrolled parks at night.
It's a good point. They're out there all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they saw that, so she had the cut, she had some other marks on her body like she'd been, beat up on, and also had his footprints on her chest.
Gosh.
Yeah. So at any rate, he really wasn't still in the area. I'm sure he went straight down and got on I-15 and went back. They found him the next
Yeah.
day in Idaho Falls, and was arrested.
Wow.
But honestly, I think that lady's probably lucky to be alive, considering
Yeah.
the way this person was acting.
JR says that they should change the name of Beaver Dick Park immediately. There is, it's named after a man, and there's a whole memorial out there. Like I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure his graveside is like out there.
Mm-hmm.
I actually personally had to go to that memorial while I was in elementary school to learn
Mm-hmm.
about Beaver Dick. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah,
He
it's a
was
thing.
an early settler of our
Yeah.
area. But there was actually a petition not that long ago to change it because people felt like it was offensive to their children. But they lost. There are things we'll tolerate around here and things we won't. But Beaver Dick Park, he can stay.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? We have some weird stuff around here. There's also a creek up from where I'm from called Bitch Creek that is that was another one that people had I read the same complaints from people about Bitch Creek as is Beaver Dick Park, that these are inappropriate. And people are like, well, these have been here for, you know, close to a century. They're not going anywhere. But
I think it's so funny how people just love to be mad. Like
yeah,
if
yeah.
you don't want to call it Bitch Creek, don't call it Bitch Creek, but don't tell everybody else what they can call it.
Grandma Betty used to call it Birch Creek.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't say that word unless she was really mad at the pigs or something. But yeah, hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, we probably better get out of here. We've been at it for an hour. So we will be back Monday at 6 p.m., Kristi and I, for some all new true crime. Hoping to see a ruling from Judge Hippler by then. I'm really thinking we're going to see a no on that. Koberger is trying to get another extension. So their trial is supposed to be starting the very end of July, and they showed up in court yesterday and went what the prosecution called scorched earth on an application to the judge to, or a plea to the judge to give them more time. But it really sounded to me like the judge was going to say no to that. So hopefully we'll know soon, though, what's going to happen. So Lori's sentencing will be on July 25th, and then jury selection for Koberger is going to start like within days of that. It's going to get crazy. Yeah.
Is that
Okay.
happening in Ada County?
Koberger, yeah. Yeah, you could go watch Koberger if you had free days and wanted to.
Oh, I wonder how they're doing that. It's so,
I'm guessing they'll do it like they did Lori and Chad's, where you had to like register for a seat.
oh. I don't know if I would want to be in the same room as that man, honestly.
It'd be interesting. Yeah,
Yeah. I have a friend who works for um the news here, and she said that she's going to be covering that. So,
I know. I'm super excited about that. Yeah.
yeah,
We have a listener that's going to be in the courtroom, and then we also have Kiana, which I'm super excited that we'll be able to connect with her on
yeah.
that trial. Yeah. Victoria, at this point, yes, we are live streaming Koberger. I gotta say, there's a part of me that doesn't want to just because, my God, it's going to be so much and everyone's going to stream it. But we have the best chat room. We just do. Our chat room is always nice. Like, I have very rarely seen anybody be nasty to each other in one of our chat rooms. Like, really, I can think of a time or two. And so I do want to stream it because we do well together, and then we'll do the nightly updates. But they're looking at 3 months, 3 months. But at this point, yes, Get, sign me up for yes. But
3 months is an
3 months is too much. How do they need 3 months to try something that happened in one night?
those poor jurors. How like what if they have
Right.
jobs and stuff? Like,
They're gonna have a hard time finding a jury that can sit for that long. That's insane. Yeah. We're reaching into Diddy numbers there.
is Diddy's trial going to take that long?
It's en route. It's been going on for a
Oh,
while.
really?
Hmm.
Wait, Diddy's at trial right now.
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
I'm surprised you've missed that one. Yeah. I haven't paid a lot of attention to it. Again, it's one of those cases that literally everybody covers, so
Yeah.
we haven't gotten too deep into it. But yeah, it's going on. I know the jurors have had to see some stuff this week that was pretty upsetting, like videos of his events and
Yeah.
stuff that was pretty
I
tough
feel
to
so bad.
see.
Do they offer free counseling and stuff like that, mental health services after?
A lot of them do.
Because that's so sickening.
Hmm.
Diddy's such a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, R. Kelly OD'd and had to be taken to the hospital from prison. He says that the prison gave him enough medicine to kill him. I I haven't read what the prison's saying about it, if they agree with that or not, but yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I read about that this
Wow.
morning, JR. Crazy.
Do they have, well, okay, back to the Diddy one. Do they
Hmm.
have a witness list that they're gonna pull? Like, do we know who they're gonna?
I don't think the witness list was public. I'm not sure if it was or not, actually. I don't know.
It would be really interesting.
I think the state is resting or getting ready to rest because the announcement was made today that he is not going to testify.
Oh,
And usually when you see the state about to rest, then the questions from the defense start coming up, like, about who their witnesses are and if the defendant is going to testify and stuff. And they said today he's not. So I'm
yeah,
hoping. I also read something about how long they expect the jury to be out, which again made me think they must be getting pretty close to resting on the state side.
yeah,
But yeah, that's
interesting.
a disaster. That's terrible. I just feel sorry for so many of the people that were victimized by him that have had to now relive this, go through the public scrutiny of it and stuff. Like, it's just really terrible. And I feel sorry for all of his kids whose dad is this person. Yeah,
Yeah,
awful.
def yeah.
Like I've been seeing like his kids showing up into court to, watch this, and of course there's kids, this is their dad.
Yeah.
They're probably supporting him at least to some degree or need to see what's happening and stuff. I just think it's very sad for that to be
Yeah.
happening. But yeah. They have a schmuck road in Sequim, Washington. I like it. You know who lived on that road, right? He was a real asshole. I don't know, I'm making it up.
Knew it.
All right, let's call it. We'll be back on Monday. You guys have a good weekend. Go touch grass, eat a cookie, take care of yourselves. Do something that's not true crime, for sure. And
Okay,
and if
bye,
you're
y'all.
local, Kristi and I do have a booth on Saturday at Rexburg Pride. So we'll be there from 2 to 8, and we'd love to see you guys if you want to come and say hi and see what we've been working on. We've got some good stuff, so it would be great. And thank you for joining me. This was fun.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me, Mama.
Anytime. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for being here. This has been yet another production of the True Crime Squad.
Season 6, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. Ooh, ooh, ooh. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.